Welcome to Travel Marketeering Live. I am Joshua Harrell, Chief Revenue Officer at WorldVia Travel Network. If we haven't met yet, here's the quick version. I've spent my career in sales, marketing, and service delivery for both consumer and B2B brands. I serve on the board of PATH, the Professional Association of Travel Hosts, and I fancy myself a singer. So if I break out in song at some point, just go with me on it. Just go with me on it. Big welcome to everyone joining us live, to all of you catching the replay on YouTube, and a special hello to our podcast listeners. Travel Marketeering Live is also available as an audio only podcast on every major platform. So if you'd rather listen on the go, search Travel Marketeering with Joshua Harrell wherever you listen. Last episode, we tackled collaborations that bring you clients, not just likes. We talked about how to find 3 real partnership targets, what to say in your first outreach, and how to structure a show up, stick around, stand beside loop with a supplier BDM or local business. The big takeaway was that collaboration is not a one off post, it's a relationship system, if I can say that. It's a relationship system that compounds. Today, we are zooming all the way out to today. Ooh, blah, blah, blah. That's a great way to start the day, right? Today's topic is from invisible to go-to advisor in 12 months, your step 2 roadmap. By the end of this hour, you will have a 4-quarter visibility roadmap anchored in one niche that turns you from someone people scroll past into the obvious go-to advisor for the trips you want to sell. This is the long arc version of step 2 of the, let me see, I think I can pull it up on the screen, of the thriving travel advisor blueprint. Become known for travel. That's that everything that we're talking about is really based in this thriving travel advisor blueprint that is all about travel marketeering. So before we go deeper, 3 quick call outs. If you're not new here, then you've heard this before. First, join. I've got new buttons that I gotta link down to. First, join the Travel Marketeers private Facebook group. Search Travel Marketeers on Facebook and request to join. Second, please subscribe to the WorldVia Travel Network YouTube channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single episode. It's a little spotty this summer, I'm going to tell you. There's a lot of traveling going on. Third, follow at Travel Marketeering on Instagram and TikTok for the bite-sized versions of everything we talk about here. A little plug, you can also follow at Joshua Harrell. Sometimes I post cool things. I don't know. You tell me. Is it cool? I don't know. If you are new here, you'll see Travel Marketeers drop TM in the chat. TM is our greeting. TM is our sign of agreement. TM is a joyful noise like amen. So if you can hear me right now, live or on the replay, go ahead and drop a TM in the chat to say hello. I want to see who's in the house. And if you are on your channel, your business channel, if you could just put your first name in there when you drop a chat in, I would like to address you by your name. Just it's helpful. So now, while you are dropping in that TM, also drop this in the chat for me. On a scale from 1 to 10, where 1 is totally invisible and 10 is the obvious go-to advisor in your niche. Where do you feel like you are right now? Just type the number 1 to 10. Where are you today? So while you're typing, let me set the stage as I like to do. Let me set the stage. Um, Here is the truth that does not get talked about enough. Most travel advisors do not have a visibility problem. They have a visibility plan problem. They post when they feel like it. They go silent when life gets busy. They pivot niches every time something looks every time something new looks shiny, like squirrel. I know that a squirrel isn't shiny, it's furry, but you get the drift. And then 12 months go by and they look around and wonder why the same names keep getting the referrals, the press, the FAMs. If you're new to the industry, FAMs are familiarization trips. Those are where you get to experience the travel product. And the high end bookings, and they don't. It's not because those advisors are louder, it is because those advisors are on a plan. A 12-month plan run on purpose in one lane. That's what we're building today. Sound exciting? All right, I'm gonna pop over to the chat. I know you guys are waiting over there. So those of you who have been watching for a little while, you know that I've upgraded my studio. Well, it feels like an upgrade, but it also means that everything had to be recreated. So some of my buttons don't work the way I want them to work. So let's see here. Carolina blogging, hello and happy Saturday. Also, I am ready. Let's do this. Serena TM from Arizona, good to see you. Carolina, I love seeing you are very, very participatory in the chat here. I love it. And it's Sarah. Sarah, Carolina blogging travel. I love it. Christy TM from Alabama. I love me some Alabama. I have lived in Atlanta most of my life, and I can tell you, I have gone on many holidays over to Alabama. You've got a beautiful, beautiful state. I almost called it a country. All right, so let's get to those scores. I'm gonna, you know, just pop them up. Sarah said 3, Serena 3. Um, and oh, I can see some across. We are broadcasting live all over the place. So I'm seeing quite a few numbers out there. That is fantastic. Let me get my stuff here. Yeah, I'm seeing some threes, fives, sevens. I just saw a 9 out there. So travel marketeers, I see you. I see those ones and twos, which is honestly the most honest answer you can give right now. Because here's the good news. It doesn't matter where you are today. If you are a 1, you are exactly where the 4-quarter roadmap is designed to start. If you are a 7, you are about to find out which quarter you skipped, because almost everyone skips 1. All right, they skip one of those quarters. So let me explain why we are framing this as 12 months. Most advisors, they think in 2 horizons, either this week or someday. Does that sound familiar? Can I get a TM? So most advisors think in 2 horizons, either this week or someday. This week is the post I have to get out by Friday. Someday is the dream of being booked solid. The problem is Nothing in between gets planned. So you bounce between this week and someday for years, and you wonder why your brand never builds momentum. And I share this, especially if you're new to Travel Marketeering Live. I share this because I am fortunate. For the last almost 9 years, I have worked with thousands of travel agency owners and advisors. And I do believe success leaves clues. And I'm a professional clue picker upper and sharer. And I say that because I'm not making this stuff up. I have seen brilliant people do this bouncing between this week and someday for years. And I have seen when finally the light kicks on, things shift. So that's that I want to give you the shorthand. I want to give you the fast path to this. So 12 months is long enough to actually compound. 12 months is short enough to feel real. All right. Here is the math I want you to sit with. If you commit to 2 real touch points a week, one teach and one show or invite, you are about 100 touch points in 12 months. 100 touch points from one human in one niche to one community. That is how an unavoidable brand gets built. Not from one viral post, from 100 ordinary ones on purpose in one lane. You feel me? So here is the roadmap. And if I can't remember if I mentioned this already, you can get the worksheet for today's episode in the Travel Marketeers private Facebook group, or it's in the description. The link is in the description the YouTube uh, in the YouTube show notes. I don't know what I'm talking about. So here's the roadmap: 4 quarters, 4 jobs. So each quarter has a job. Q1 is to learn. Q2, launch. Q3, showcase. Q4 is to scale. So Q1, learn. Q2, launch. Q3, showcase. Q4, scale. I get a lot of words that are floating around in my head that I need to get out. So let's walk through each one. Quarter 1 is learn. Okay. In Q1, your job is not to go viral. Your job is not to launch a podcast. Your job is to get unreasonably clear on 3 things: your niche, your marquee travel win, and the language your ideal client uses to describe what they want. This is the quarter where you finish your niche clarity map, also available in the Travel Marketeer Facebook group. This is the quarter where you write down your I help statement. This is the quarter where you pick one platform, just one, and learn how it actually works. That's doable. If you skip Q1, every other quarter wobbles. Q2 is launch. In Q2, you commit to publishing or publishing rhythm you can actually keep. Now, for most of you, that is 2 posts a week on one platform. You launch the teach, show, invite rhythm that we talked about back in April. You can go back and watch that show on YouTube. You can go back and watch that show if you want to get caught up on those 3 types of content. Okay. You start an email list in this quarter and you send one email every 2 weeks, non negotiable. You start collecting names, not just likes. Okay. Q2 is not glamorous. Q2 is repetition. Repetition. And guys, sometimes you know what? I know I can be very bossy, but I have been a serial entrepreneur my entire life. And every business I ever started failed. Every project I started failed. And it's because I didn't have enough, um, I don't want to say passion, but I think I needed to be told what to do. If you are like me, I am telling you what to do. So don't fight me on this. Just do it. And then when you become a master at it, then go, do your own thing, make your own system. But I'm telling you, I have seen this work. I know it works. So just believe me, just trust me. Okay. Let's jump into this. Okay. All right. Q3 or quarter three is showcase. Now things get fun. In Q3, your job is to put your work on stage. This is when you turn one signature trip into a case study post, a reel, a carousel, a blog, and an email. This is where you ask three past clients for a testimonial and use them everywhere. Okay? Everywhere. This is when you start standing beside the right suppliers, doing a co hosted live, a BDM webinar. Again, if you're new, business development manager, those are the account managers in the travel industry. Or, you're doing a local business collaboration like we talked about in the last episode. Okay. Q3 is when the market starts to recognize you because you finally gave them something to recognize you for. Cuter, cuter. Quarter four is scale. Okay. By Q4, you have almost a year of receipts. You know which content works. You know which signature trip converts. You know which supplier wants more of you. And you know what? I need to have a break here. Look at this. They Suppliers need more of you. I've got too many toys to play with. And if you're listening to the audio only, you missed I had laser beams shooting from behind me. Okay. So in Q4, you do exactly two things. You double down on what already worked and quietly, this is my note, quietly retire what didn't. It just didn't work. All right. You scale your best content format. You scale your best signature trip. You scale your best collaboration because not all collaborations are equal. You do you do not add new things in Q4. You amplify what's already winning. Okay. So pop into the chat for me. Okay. Which quarter are you actually in right now? Okay. And uh, be honest, right? It's okay. This is a safe space. Um, are you so which quarter would you say you are actually in right now? Q1 still getting clear. Q2 just launched building rhythm. The rhythm is gonna get you. The rhythm is gonna get you. Okay, that was a dance break there. Q3 starting to showcase and get noticed. Q4 doubling down on what works. Just type Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. All right. So while you type that, here is the thing nobody tells you. Are you ready for this? Most advisors are not where they think they are. I'll meet someone at a conference, I've been at quite a few here recently, who tells me they're in Q3. They are showcasing. And then I look at their feed and they posted 3 times in the last 2 months. And the posts are from 3 different niches. That's not Q3. That is a Q1 problem dressed up in Q3 clothes. There's no shame in being in Q1 in month 9, but there's a real cost in pretending you are in Q3 when the foundation is not built, because you'll spend another 12 months frustrated that the showcase quarter is not paying off. When the truth is, you never finished learn. The roadmap only works if you are honest about where you actually are. So I'm gonna pop into the chat real quick and just look. Well, I've got to, let's see here. Wow. So, guys, Christine, you've got a lot going on here. Hold on a second here. All right. So, let's see. Christine said, I need this today. Love that. I absolutely love that. Let's see here. Some TMs. It was Sarah. A TM to that. The supplier advisor relationship is so important. It really is. And I'm just going to take a beat here on that one and say, if you are newer to the travel business, it seems kind of it doesn't seem like the supplier relationship, those BDM relationships are as important as they are. And the things that I have seen over and over again is if you are not clear on who you are and who you serve and what you want to do, BDMs are there. They want to work with you, but they want to work with you more if they feel like you know what you're talking about and that you're focused. And they will help you. They'll give you guidance, but they have to feel like you are operating on a plan. Without a plan, in so many instances, you just kind of fade in the background. So plans help you in here. Um, let's see. So Jay Powell is saying Q2. No problem in that. Sarah is Q2. Uh, I like this. Miss Abby Solo said Q1.5. Okay. I didn't, that wasn't one of the 4 options. You're going rogue on me here. Uh, Serena, Q2. Love it. Um, Oh, and Christine has a good one here. What about when we don't have a marquee travel win? I think that this is a very good one to talk about for a moment. So I've kind of referenced the marquee travel win for those of you who you've been in the travel marketing live space here. So let me just break that down a little bit further. So your marquee travel win is the type of travel, the travel experience that you would, or the trip, the signature trip that you would put your name in lights for. Okay. If you've been doing this for a while, you know what that is. You know the one that the trip that you put together, you are so good at it that it's not effortless on your part, but it is so spot on that and a joy for you to put together, but also one that after your clients travel on it, they're raving. They're your evangelists, right? So the idea of having a marquee travel win is, yes, you can sell loads of other things. That it isn't saying this is the only thing you sell, but it is the thing that you become known for. And that is so important, so people can connect with who you are and what you sell. All right. Now, that's how the human brain works, right? We've got to be able to figure somebody out. But the other key benefit to having a marquee travel win, and it's the reason why all marketing experts in the travel space and beyond all say that you've got to niche down. It's not because you're restricting your clients or the ability to serve other clients. It is because you don't have enough money to advertise yourself as someone who does all these things. But if you focus on one niche, you can truly become known for that. And that's going to compound over time. You can, if you want to do paid advertising, you can do paid advertising on something specific. When you're too general, you just don't see the traction. You don't see the results. Now, and I talk about that all the time, and it's a part of the Thriving Travel Advisor Blueprint. Now, getting back to what you are asking, Christine, what about when we don't have a marquee travel win? Well, here's the truth. You can you can identify one that you want to be your marquee travel win. Okay. That is something that is very doable. And that's essentially what you're doing when you're just beginning and you're identifying who you want to be when you grow up, right? So it is something that you can say this is what I'd like to sell, and that is a-okay. Now over time, once you start servicing that particular signature trip, you might say, let me think about that again because I don't know that that's the one that I want to put my name in lights for. Because while I personally like that, it is a little problematic. It's either problematic finding the customers, it's problematic actually servicing those bookings. Um, there's so many different scenarios that I could get into, Christine. So what I would say is, if you're just beginning, pick what you want to sell, come up with a very specific trip. So it's not just I sell river cruise in Europe, right? It's got to be something a little more specific, right? I I I my signature trip is wine tasting through France, something like that, right? And I'm just you get random examples when I'm just kind of operating on the fly here. But the thing is it has to be something that you can build a whole ecosystem around marketing. So going back to the chat here, um, if there were a lot of twos out there. There were some threes. I even saw one four. So, Travel Marketeer, I want to talk to you after this show. If you're at four already, I need to know what's going on, right? But this is exactly what I see at events. Most of the room is Q1 or Q2, and just to be honest, and I'm not saying that you're not. I'm just saying, but the room is Q1, Q2, but they're pretending to be further along, and that is a-okay. That is fixable. Okay, that is something we can do something with. So today's worksheet is going to help you place yourself honestly and pick one move for the next 90 days. Okay. So you can get that worksheet again from the Travel Marketeer private Facebook group. It is free to join. It's very easy to join. Just search Travel Marketeers and you just type in some information and then we'll let you in. And then you can always access all the different worksheets because I try to do worksheets. I don't know if you're like me, but I really hate PowerPoints. And when I first started doing Travel Marketeering Live, people said, I want more PowerPoints, which has never happened to me in my life. But I get it. especially if you're on the go. So I hope you're loving the worksheets. If you are loving the worksheets, can you let me know in the comments, because a lot of work goes in to putting those together and to put these topics together. And all I hope for is that when you spend this time, whenever you get to tune in, whenever you get to listen, watch, do the work, you leave that time, you feel like you've left with some golden nugget, something that made you say, "Aha," something that said, "Okay, I'm gonna kick myself in the booty, and, I'm getting it done." I see Christine said, "I prefer the worksheets." So, a TM for that, thank you. And Jay Powell said, "I just finished, creating my marquee win, and first week posts are scheduled following the 90-day content plan." Yes, and if you wanna know more about that, you can watch the past episodes of Travel Marketeering Live, because we did talk about the 90-day content plan, and we went in depth on the marquee travel win. Yay, I'm so proud of you. I can't wait to see where this journey takes you. All right, so I'm gonna get back on track here. See, if you join live, we get to talk, right? So if we don't get to join live, just another side note, you can always email me, joshua@worldvia.com. I'd love to hear from you. All right, I want to talk about the rule that breaks more roadmaps than any other. Okay. And kind of alluded to this already. It is one niche. One niche through the entire 12 months. Not three niches because you sell three things. Not a different niche every quarter because the algorithm changed. One niche. And I threw in that thing about the algorithm changed, because I love when somebody tells me simultaneously that they're not good at marketing or social media or website building, and then they start quoting the algorithm changing. Um, don't overcomplicate this, guys. Okay, don't overcomplicate it. Don't block the blessings. Uh, just again, don't overcomplicate it. All right, so one niche, and here's why. And this is what I was talking about just a moment ago, right? So becoming known is a pattern recognition game. Okay, have you heard of this? It's like you don't remember. Somebody asked you, "Do you like the new Nissan Altima?" I don't know where that example came from, and you're like, "I don't know that I've seen the new Nissan Altima," and then forever after, all you see are Nissan Altimas everywhere, right? So, that pattern recognition, once it's on your radar, then all of a sudden you start to pick up, you clue into it. You've been driving past Nissan Altimas forever, but now all of a sudden, because it's now front of mind, you're seeing it everywhere. So becoming known is a pattern recognition game. People do not start trusting you the first time they see you. They start trusting you when they have seen you in the same lane enough times that their brain files you under one label. All right. She does Disney. He does luxury safari. She does river cruising for empty nesters. He does multi-gen all inclusive. That label is gold. That label is what gets you referred at the dinner party you are not at. Imagine that. My ears are burning because someone's at a dinner party talking about what they know I do and love. But if you change niches every quarter, the label never sets. Okay. You stay generic, you stay invisible, you stay mm, 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 scrollable. That's a label I do not want. I do not want to be scrollable. All right. So here is the rule for your 12-month roadmap: one niche, one platform, one signature trip, one email list, 12 months. Then and only then do you add a second. Now, I already know what you're saying. You're saying, Joshua, but I I I I don't want to turn away business. I don't want to turn away business. What if someone asks me for uh a Disney and I don't sell Disney, but I want to do it? It's a free country. Go do it. I'm talking about your travel marketeering. I'm talking about what you are intentionally marketing and talking about. There is a difference. All right. And I want you to hear me on that, because I will have people who just fight me tooth and nail on this. When we talk about niching down, we talk about what you become really good at, what you become known for, what you are supporting with your marketing activities. All right. That's the choice that you're making. You're not saying, I'm shutting off, I'm turning away potential clients. Now, I will tell you, because again, success leaves clues, and I've been around enough advisors to know how this works. They get started, they take all the business. They're a little scattered, they're a little bit fried, but the business is flowing. They're learning the things that they like, the things that they don't like. They're finding their marquee travel win. It all happens. And then they get to the point where they've honed in on that thing that they're marketing, the thing that they're being known for, the thing that gets people into their pipeline, that gets people into their book of business, right? And then they get to the very powerful position of turning people away. Now, I know that that sounds really unrealistic at this time, but it's the truth. You, if you get really good at building your pipeline, you you can get into that position of turning business away, or expanding your agency to be able to accommodate more, have advisors, or sub agents, associates that are working for you, that are handling some of those bookings that you did initially, but now you don't want to do those anymore. So, all right, so I think I've talked about that enough. But let's talk about the part that scares people, that scares people the most. How do you stay visible for 12 months without sounding like a used car commercial? Which I don't know, I've seen very many used car commercials. I think I mean, yes, Carvana, but it's not like it was back in the 80s. Sorry to say that I know that. Well, I'm not sorry to say I know that. I'm proud of my age. Um, so how do you stay visible for 12 months without sounding like a used car salesman? That's the number one fear anyone has when I say, "Hey, you're a salesperson." I don't want to be a used car salesperson. So the honest answer is, the going back to the content plan, um, is the teach, show, invite ratio we built back in April. Okay, so this is the types of content that are in your content plan. All right, so teach is most of your content. You want to teach so much. You want to be the trusted advisor, not just the trusted travel advisor, but the trusted advisor in someone's circle. They value your expertise. You are demonstrating it on a regular basis, right? So teach is was most of your content. Show is your proof, and then invite is your offer. If three of your four posts are teach and show, you have earned the right to invite the fourth time. And that invite will convert because the audience already trusts you. The advisors who feel salesy are not posting too often. They are posting only invites, the invites to do business with them. The advisor who feels invisible, or the advisor who feels invisible, they're usually doing the opposite. They are teaching forever and never inviting. So there's two sides of the coin here, right? The roadmap works because every quarter increases your invite confidence. Okay? So it's broken down in a way to help you build to have the structure, because you're doing other things than marketing, right? But your marketing needs to be running nonstop. That's the whole travel marketeering story, right? That's the build systems that work for you even when you're sleeping, right? So, so going back to the advisors who feel invisible are usually doing the opposite. They are teaching so much, and they're never actually inviting someone to sit down and have a conversation, to do a consult. So this roadmap is designed to give you the structure that increases your invite confidence. So in Q1, you are mostly doing teach. You are clarifying. In Q2, you add the show. You're building proof. I do this. I'm good at this, right? Q3, you increase invite. You are putting offers on the table. Now, people can obviously DM you or go to your website and fill out an inquiry form at any time. This is just how you're building this plan to be the go-to, the obvious choice, right? So in Q4, you amplify the invites that already converted, right? Because you've had enough time to learn what works. And that is the rhythm of a go-to advisor. And sometimes it takes people 12 years. Some people, it takes 2 years. It's every I'm giving you the the roadmap so you can do this faster, okay? But you have to commit to it, and you have to trust the process a little bit, right? If you don't trust the process, then you're kinda like, I'm gonna muddle my way through here, and it might drag things out a little bit. But if you follow the process, I I feel pretty confident that you're gonna be in a better position in 12 months than you were today as we're talking, or as you're listening or watching right now, okay? So let me pop over to the chat because I see a few things, that, let's see. Um, Here, hold on a second. Let me pop down here. Um so Christine said, I'm planning on doing escorted Europe history tours, but I'm still building that. For now, I'm starting with Europe river cruise groups while I put that together. Do I focus on Europe river cruise for now? Yes, Christine. I would just I would just say, and she's clarified in her marketing. I would say Europe river cruising, but I would figure out what your extra hook is. Is it family river cruising, which is not that common, because river cruise is not for kids, but adult kids. Oh, so families with adult kids or teenagers. That's a good one. Find something, or the wine angle or the food angle. Find something that is helping you helping people identify like what kind of trip they want as a part of a river cruise. Most people don't know that they want a river cruise. Most people want Europe. And personally, I think river cruise is one of the best ways to experience Europe, especially for the first time. And Christine, thank you for chatting so much here. It makes sense to me because honestly, it's going to take me a year before I'm ready to put that escorted tour out there. So you're okay with the year plan there. I got it. I love it. Um, Gosh, I hope you guys are having fun today. I am. I'm having a good time. All right, let's get back into it here. So here's what I want you to understand. 12 months on the roadmap will not just change your numbers, it will change your identity. Okay. You will stop saying, I'm trying to build a travel business. You will start saying, I'm the advisor for first time Japan family trips, or I'm the river cruise person for empty nesters. There's your note, Christine. Maybe it's the empty nesters for you. Or I'm the corporate retreats person for boutique companies, agencies, right? That sentence is the prize. When you can say that sentence with a straight face in your feed, your email list, your trip portfolio, back it up, the referrals stop being random. Suppliers stop being hard to reach. BDMs start texting you back. FAMs start finding you, and that's real. There are definitely FAMs that are promoted broadly, but then there are FAM opportunities that are quite exclusive. And I speak to supplier partners and my team speak to partners all the time where they're like, we've got 2 spots on this amazing experience, da 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 da. Da. Who would be the best advisor? Who do you think would be the best advisor to make the most out of this? But what I love is when they say, I want to check with you as the agency executive, because I need to get your permission on this. But so and so is on fire right now, and the stuff that she's doing is XYZ, blah 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 blah. What do you think about them? And I will say 99.9% of the time, I'm like, that's your person right there. Because yes, if they are known for something and that aligns with this opportunity, that's perfect. So fams do start finding you, and it does happen. I'm not making this up, right? It does happen that way. Clients start saying, "I found you because someone in my book club said you were the person for this." That is the moment you move from invisible, invisible to go to. And it does not take 5 years. It takes one 12-month plan run on purpose in one lane. So here is the closing chat prompt, or just something to kick around in your head if you're listening to this right now. In the chat right now, drop this for me. What is one move that you are going to make in the next 7 days based on today's show? Maybe it is I'm picking my niche and not changing it for 12 months. I'm gonna write that 12 times on the board. I don't know. Do you have a whiteboard in your office or even a blackboard? I'm just saying. So maybe it is even I'm dropping the second social media platform I keep half using, right? How many people are doing the half using things? Now, let me clarify on that one just a moment before I get over to the chat. Um, it is very easy to cross post on multiple platforms. And I highly recommend it. If you follow me on my platforms, there you're going to see some of the same content across multiple platforms. All right. And that is okay. That is okay. Um, there is a platform I am more personally engaged in, the back and forth communications. And then there are platforms that I enjoy consuming, but maybe I don't participate in, right? So, and then there's some types of content that, that's definitely a YouTube piece or that's definitely a TikTok talk piece, and maybe I'll throw it in as a reel for Instagram. So, I will dabble, but I'm not in the same spot as you, right? I am not selling. I'm not being known for travel. I'm not trying to get leads. I am showing up in these places where travel advisors, who I think are the coolest people in the world, are, and I just would like them to think I'm as cool, is essentially what it is. And if anybody has gotten this far in today's show, that is our secret, trade secret. Don't say that anywhere, right? I would like everyone to think that Joshua is a truly groovy individual, right? All right, so I'm getting nonsense aside here. So another option that you might put in for the next 7 days is I am downloading the worksheet and placing myself in the right quarter honestly. And again, if you called out that you felt like you were a Q3, and you end up saying, "I know I'm a Q1," that's okay. That's a-okay because getting that clarity now, that is gonna be so beneficial. So, whatever it is that you're gonna do in the next 7 days, type it in the chat now. Make it specific, make it small, make it doable in 7 days. So, while you're typing, and I do wanna see those commitments in there, while you're typing, let me recap. So, number 1, 12 months is the right horizon, not this week, not someday. 12 months. I don't want you to try to squash everything into 1 week. You'll get analysis paralysis and you won't move. Okay. So the horizon is 12 months. That's what we're looking at here. Number two, 4 quarters, and they have 4 jobs. Q1 is to learn. Q1 or Q2 is launch. Q3 is showcase, and Q4 is scale. And scale sounds like venture capitalists, right? But it is the whole idea behind travel marketeering. You you set up the systems, you fix the things that aren't working the way you want them to work, and you turn the volume up on the things that aren't or that are working, right? So that its scale is built into travel marketeering. Number three, one niche, one platform, one signature trip, one email list for all 12 months. I spoke to an advisor recently, and they said that they just got their email list started, and they're coming up with like 5 different segments. And more power to them, but I've seen that play out before. You're overcomplicating it a bit. All right. Anyway, getting back to this. So, number 4 in the recap here. So, teach, show, invite, with the ratio shifting for, quarter by quarter. So you're going to do a lot of teaching in the beginning, showing in the very beginning, and then you're going to do more inviting as the quarters go by. And number 5, honesty about which quarter you are actually in is the difference between another lost year and a real one. Doesn't that sound good? We want to be in there. All right, so I'm gonna pop over to the chat. Let's see what you guys got going on. Let's see here. Wow, 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 wow. Let's see here. Um, so I'm wearing a little earpiece here, and every time your chats come through, it makes a little. It's almost like a woodpecker knocking on a piece of wood. And I could tell while I was going through the recap there, you guys were in here chatting, so, I'm excited to see this. Um, all right, sorry, guys. Christine coming back to, what she was talking about, she said, "I am actually traveling with my first group, with, teenagers, and my BDM for Alma Waterways actually reached out to me this week." That's a fantastic story, Christine. I love it. Um, Jay Powell said, "I want to be like you, Christine, when I grow up. I'll get my groove soon." Yes, you will. Um, Christine said, 9 months in, and I'm just starting to find my footing. You will get there. I think that that's advice for everybody. And I love that you shared that, Christine, because I think more people need to hear it. You're being a solopreneur, which many of you are, right? You are in your home office, you're in your garage studio, right? And you don't uh y- you just see other people winning, or you perceive them winning. And that that can really play on your mind, right? So being very open and honest in the community of travel advisors that you're a part of, it comes back to you. It truly does come back to you. So you saying that, Christine, for the hundreds of people that might be listening to this episode, they might need to hear that right now. That it took you 9 months and you're just starting to find your footing. So thank you for sharing that. Let's see here. What else do we got going on? Christine said, "Fix my Rallyo," which is a social media management tool and scheduler, and posting my first intro to me video. I'm on take number 9. I love that. Jay Powell said, "I'm sticking to one social platform instead of trying to fit into several all the time." I love that. Uh, let's see here. Miss Abby Solo said, "I plan to help families with older kids or adult kids, but thinking of focusing on cruises instead of theme parks. Do I focus on one cruise line like Disney Cruise or the majority of family cruises?" That is, that's a good question, Miss Abby. Um, you're I'm very aggressive when I give advice, so I wanna kind of be a little more. I want you to discover on your own here. But your theme parks are always going to be, there's a desire for theme parks. They are going to feed your pipeline. Many of them do not know the opportunities around cruising. In fact, the cruise lines say their biggest opportunity is new to cruise, and several of them go toe to toe with theme parks, right? So I think you bring in a few that you become really really good at, and they're kind of um, they're maybe they go hand in hand. Since you brought up theme parks, maybe they go hand in hand. So you're not necessarily thinking, I sell Magic Kingdom and I also do Viking Ocean. Those are 2 different lanes, right? But, you taking a Royal Caribbean and your Disney clients, those are very closely aligned, right? And there's other cruise lines around there. So create kind of an ecosystem around. Now, Disney Cruise Line, let me just say this, it it is extremely popular, and the people who love it. And some of the people who love Disney Cruise Line are not just families, right? So that is a whole other component to thinking about Disney Cruise Line. I definitely think it should be in the mix, but you can build a really strong business for families around Disney Cruise Line, and it is one that will have repeat clients, and that can also feed into other experiences as you grow. So definitely a book a biz a book of business builder. Um, let's see. Wow. Okay. There's a lot of chat going on. Miss Abby said, "I'm going to post 2 times a week consistently and be visible on one platform instead of all over the place." Um, Sarah said, "I'm stuck, but going to revisit the worksheets, really hone in on the niche I picked and go for it. Do it. Do it." Um, let's see. Brandy said, "I'm trying to build my Facebook group and get away from posting everything on my personal page. Still still posting on my personal, is that considered one platform? Ooh, Brandy, yeah, I'm gonna say one platform. Your Facebook group strategy is a different animal. Glad that you're doing it. I'm gonna say that's one platform. And you can I might contradict myself later, but I think that that's that'll work, but your Facebook group engagement is gonna be it's a different strategy, right? So I'm excited for all the commitments. So these are the kinds of decisions that will change a year. So before we close, grab the From Invisible to Go to Advisor 12-month roadmap worksheet. The link is pinned in the Travel Marketeers Facebook group. You go to Facebook, search Travel Marketeers, follow Travel Marketeering, and Joshua Harrell on Instagram and TikTok. Subscribe to the WorldVia Travel Network YouTube channel and turn on those notifications because there's way more content than just travel marketing. You've got to check out Laura DeVega's Elevate Your Travel Agency. Really, really good stuff. And if you have not grabbed the Thriving Travel Advisor Blueprint on the Travel Marketeers Facebook group page, it is pinned to the top so you can get it. Next week, Saturday, June 13th, we open step 3 of the blueprint. Trip ready signals, how clients raise their hand to work with you. This is the step where everything you have been building in step 2 starts producing actual hand raisers. You're not going to want to miss it. Until then, travel marketeers, keep showing up, keep sticking around, keep standing beside the right people. And remember, travel marketeering is not a one-time thing. It's a 12-month thing. It's a lifelong thing. I'll see you next Saturday. TM.